question that revolves around like, what are we actually doing when we're meditating? And what's meditation gonna do for my life? So I thought tonight that's where I would start. So to me, it seems like the main purpose of meditation in general Buddhist practice is to eventually become aware of how the world actually is, in contrast to how each of us perceives it. In Zen Buddhism, we sit and we practice zazen or seated meditation, and our aim is to just sit. And as we sit, we suspend all judgment and let words and ideas, and images and thoughts just pass by without getting involved with them. And that sounds a lot easier than it actually is. But with time, I found that this practice helps me live with less resistance. It doesn't mean that I've abandoned my principles, but I've definitely become more aware that the world and everything that happens is impermanent, interdependent, and conditional. So when I began my practice a few years ago, I considered my lack of formal Buddhist training kind of a disadvantage. But recently I've reconsidered that idea, and I'm sharing this because I want to encourage anybody who's new to see their time sitting alone or in informal groups as really beneficial, because this is the time that you're discovering and developing your own concentration, your own discipline, and your own patience, which eventually becomes the backbone of your own zazen practice. So in Zen meditation, posture is really important. So let's do this together as we get ready to meditate. Keeping your back straight, your head and your neck should be in line with your spine. Drop your shoulders away from your ears and tuck your chin in just slightly. If you're comfortable sitting on a cushion, that's fine. It's also fine to sit on a meditation bench or on a chair. The main requirement is to be stable and upright and ready to sit for however long you're going to sit. Sometimes gently swaying from side to side can help you find the most stable position for your body. And the important thing is to be comfortable enough so that you don't fidget or experience too much pain. When you're sitting on a cushion, if you're in lotus or half lotus, it's really important to sit so that your hips are higher than your knees. But however you're sitting on the cushion, each knee should rest on the ground and your bottom should rest on the cushion so that your weight is evenly distributed. It really helps you be able to sit for a longer amount of time. For those who choose to sit in a chair, your back should be straight and not resting against the back of the chair. So sit forward enough in the chair so that both of your feet rest flat on the floor. If you have any sort of back or hip injury and you need extra support, just put a cushion behind your back, and you can also slide a cushion underneath your feet as necessary. Generally speaking, your posture during meditation should be stable and alert. Imagine a highly trained Doberman pinscher who has been told to sit and stay. So traditionally we hold our hands lightly in our lap with the tips of our thumbs just touching each other and our palms facing up. The right hand is cradling the left and your hands are forming an oval. If during meditation you find that your thumbs are pushing too hard against each other, just relax them and bring your thumbs gently back together again. And if you're too sleepy or relaxed, you're probably going to find that your thumbs are going to float apart, and you just put them lightly back together again. For so much of the time during the day, our body is in one place and our mind is somewhere else. In zazen, we reunite them and we feel what it's like to re-inhabit our body. So as we settle into our posture, feel where your limbs are, feel the straightness of your back, feel your shoulders relaxed, feel your head upright, and your thumbs lightly touching. Come back into your body again. Most Zen practitioners meditate with their eyes slightly open. If you're not ready to do that yet, it's okay. You can just meditate with your eyes closed, but know that there's a greater chance you might drift into like a half dreamy state. If your eyes are slightly open, keep your vision relaxed. Let your sight settle naturally onto the ground just in front of you. There's no need to go out of focus. Just let your visual field change however it's going to change. When I sit and meditate, I always begin by focusing with my breath. Most of us run around all day long breathing from the upper part of our chest, which is shallow breathing. In zazen, we breathe from the deepest part of our diaphragm, not from our chest. So let's do this together. Let's take a slow, controlled inhale through your nose, fill up your lungs, and a slow, controlled exhale, breathing out all of the air. That's how we're going to breathe. If you feel like your mind is restless or agitated, you can try counting your breath to see if that helps. Okay. Let's sit. anybody have any questions about posture, breathing? So I thought I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about thoughts, because that's something that comes up particularly when we first start meditating. Did your mind wander during our first sit? Anybody wandering mind? Yeah, pretty normal. That's what brains do. They think and then wander. So when we practice zazen, we just try to let any thoughts that arise come and go as they will. We don't hang on to them, we don't dwell on them. And you can treat your emotions or any itches or any aches or physical discomfort the same way. Just sit. We're not shutting out our thoughts, and we're also not encouraging them. We're not trying to eliminate or repress thoughts and feelings. If a thought arises, just notice it. It's just a thought. Just let it be, and then return your attention to your breath. Try to do the same thing with any sensations that arise in your body. Notice it, do nothing, and return your attention to your breath. I've heard teachers refer to this aspect of zazen as developing the non-dwelling mind. We sit and we let go of everything without allowing the mind to dwell anywhere. Not in sight, not in sound, not in smell, taste, touch, or in thought. And we learn to notice, let go, and not interfere or react in ways that we normally would. And this is a really important part of Zen practice. So when we just sit and we're not focusing on anything in particular, what we do is we open ourselves up to what's actually occurring in the present moment. We're paying attention to the present moment. And in Buddhist practice, it's through meditation that we learn to see life as it is, as an endless process of change and transformation, an endless flow of experiences that are dependent on ever-changing causes and conditions that appear and disappear moment to moment. So to be able to pay attention to how the world is, we have to let go of our tendency to experience something, automatically attach a feeling or an emotion to it, and then have an action follow it. We naturally pass judgment or mentally comment on all of our experiences. It's just what we do. And we have to learn to set that aside, that automatic reaction, and the endless chattering and thinking that goes on in our heads, just so that we can see what actually is. So we're not really practicing zazen in the hopes of becoming something else or becoming enlightened or even becoming calm or happy or free. Although many of us start out hoping that's what we're going to do. The truth is, in the early stages of meditation practice, many of us, while we're learning, what we're actually doing is sedating ourselves rather than actually meditating, because we're focused on calming down. But honestly, in a way, I think that's okay, because some of us need a little sedation in the beginning. But the truth is, in zazen, we just sit to sit. And through the sitting and the breathing and the not clinging to or thinking, our thoughts, our feelings, and our perceptions become sort of more brief and transient. They kind of lose some of their substance. When we sit and we're just present, we're not picking and choosing. We're just there witnessing everything just as it is. So how about we sit one more time, this time with our non-dwelling minds. So were we meditating or were we sedating ourselves? Anybody know the difference and how it feels? Does anybody have any questions, first of all?
Wait, what was your question?
My question was, so were we sedating ourselves or were we meditating? And does anybody know what the difference is and how it feels?
I think I have an answer. Actually, so I raised my hand earlier. I was going to ask.
I wasn't sure if you did. Sorry about that, or if you were stretching.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, like, what do you do if a positive emotion comes up? And because obviously it's nice to not get attached to a negative emotion, and so I was kind of.
You do the same thing.
Right.
Recognize it, and then just let it pass. Because when you're meditating, you're not hanging on to anything. You're not clinging to anything. And that's actually probably a really good way to segue into how we know the difference between if we're sedating ourselves or if we're actually meditating. And the way it was explained to me is if when the bell rings to end the meditation, you open up and raise up your eyes and you feel like you're coming back into the space, you've been sedating yourself. It's not a terrible, like I said, in the beginning, a lot of us, we're doing this because we want to feel calmer. But when you're meditating and the bell rings, and you open your eyes and raise your vision back up again, you don't feel any different. You were present in the room the whole time. And that made a difference, a huge difference for me, in the difference in what I was, where I was allowing myself to go. And as far as like positive or negative emotions or sensations or itching or anything that comes up, just let it happen. Even if your leg starts to go numb, just let it happen. Nobody ever lost a leg because it went numb for 20 minutes. It's not really comfortable, but you're not going to die. Anything else? Are we good for tonight? All right. I'm going to close with a quick transfer of merit, and then we're going to have Vicki come up and do the announcements. So if you're comfortable, you can bring your palms to heart center. May the benefit of this practice be transferred to all beings in all directions. May all beings be at peace and free from suffering. May any merit gained from this practice be transferred to Pam and her brother Mark and her whole family who continue to love and support her through this difficult time. Only for me, our fabulous host.
They never come up for us. No, they never do. Hi, my name is Vicki, and I'm tonight's host. We opened the Dharma Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction problems, and our food redistribution program meets every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. Full schedule is on our website and posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. To see a book you like, please feel free to borrow it and then bring it back whenever you are done with it. I think that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Meredith. We wish you well and hope to see you all again.
Thanks, everybody.